Yeah. 16. So it's 16. Ay, open. Yeah, my goodness. Nice. Looks like 50, I think. Oh, 70.